Okay, hello. This is Jan, and we seem to be live on Twitch, on YouTube. I have to check. Let me just refresh here, and then we start right away. Yes, it should be working. So, very welcome, and let me know if you can see everything correct and hear everything correct. If that should be not the case, just let me know, of course. What are we going to do today? Today we are going to take a look at my Dojo Classical Open tourney game from Friday. Jurica did a great job commentating, and I gave it a listen, and now my goal is, of course, again to learn from it, to see what were the blunders and major mistakes. Then we put it into a Chessable course, so I can always repeat those mistakes. Or, well, not repeat those mistakes, but see the mistakes and learn from them, and well, just choose what is the better move here. Once that is done, we take a look again at lichess and see what is the recommended training for it. So we are going to do some puzzles in the Dutch variation, or some kind of Dutch variation. We'll let you know later on. And this is basically my training for today. So checking the game, what were the mistakes, putting them into Chessable, do some repetition there, and then go to lichess and do the puzzle training that was recommended by lichess for it. So we go into lichess and start. So I need to open up the game. Profile. Here are the classical games. View the games and open it up. Okay. Going all the way back. And then I go straight into the analysis board. The analysis had been run through, of course, and I did 0 inaccuracies, 7 mistakes, 2 blunders. Well, I have 86% accuracy, so does my opponent, very interesting. Also did 2 blunders, 4 mistakes, 7 inaccuracies. Okay, so let's start the game right away. So if my opponent plays d4, I usually go with the Dutch. I have a Chessable course, but I have to admit I didn't do the training. I haven't watched a lot of the course yet. No videos, no variations, and that's why I knew, of course, this move for the Dutch. Then he replied with that one, and then I did a mistake right away. And so my opponent, after the second move, is already plus 0.9. And I learned later, and also from Jurica, of course, that I should have done something to fight for e4. Didn't do that, just automatically what I, thought I had in my mind what was good for the Dutch. So this was, to me, a mistake at least, and should have been seen as this by the lichess computer. So I spent like 10 minutes now to see what to do next. And that came, and here I was really in trouble, I thought at least, and I took. Then my king was right open. I was fearing the queen coming to h5, giving check. Then my idea would have been g6, and we see how that developed. Here knight took e4, and that looks ugly right from the start. Knight f6, he took, And I'm not sure if he should have taken or if he could have developed something. Not sure here, but I took with the queen and then knight f3. And here I thought, well, now I'm kind of okay. I mean, the queen is out already, which is against all opening rules. And yeah, king is kind of open. But still I thought, well, 6 move and I'm kind of okay. So here I was scared, played h6, and that was the first mistake that was given by Stockfish. And h6, yeah, made him jump from plus 0.8 to plus 2.5. So that was a mistake. And yeah, here we just open the line that could have come up with h6 just to see what could have happened. And sometimes I just go to my YouTube page, so I see if someone is in chat. I only have one monitor here and I cannot really see it. Okay, so that's quite alright here, and we are going back to lichess. Okay, so what would have happened? Knight e5, king d8, g4, and here maybe I'm well, too unprepared, but it's already showing 3 plus 2, 3.2 plus for white, and I think that is all just because of space and development. That's my idea here, but otherwise I don't see why he is that much better already. Yeah, but let's see how it continues. Maybe I get it. Okay, so next best move should have been bishop b4 check. I don't know why that was the best move, because he just puts the pawn and then I have to retreat again anyway, don't I? Ah, here comes a mate threat in between. Queen and rook, mate on f2. So let's see how he responded. Defending with the queen. Now d6. I'm attacking the knight. He chooses a counter attack on my queen. Now we have this to exchange queens. Queen exchange. Okay. And now it says knight d3. Okay, so he doesn't want to get the bishop, he wants to save his knight. Take, we have very bad pawn. Then on d4 if he takes. So that probably makes sense to retreat with the knight here. Okay. So let's take a look at this position. Ugly. I have no way to castle because the king already moved. This is all like it was from the start. All in their starting position. And yeah, he can castle later on and has a good idea of the center. So that looks okay, though material is equal. It is plus 3.5 because of that, I guess. Okay. So what else? Check. Now take. Check. Now here's okay. Quite interesting to me. The bishop looks really bad, of course. So I believe alone that is worth the, or with the other things that I said, is worth the plus 3.6. But for my knowledge, yeah, except for the bad bishop, and now the pawn that is attacked, bishop takes h6, I'm down a pawn, having the bad bishop. Yeah, that really looks better for white, of course. Still have to develop everything. So, okay, so that's why h6 was so bad. So let's go back to that move here, knight f3. And bad choice. Why did I play it? I think I played it to prevent the bishop to g5. Taking this. Then again the queen would have to move for the third time, I believe. No, for the second time, but still bad. Okay, then... Okay, we see how... what happened after knight c6. Knight c6. Okay, now what would have happened if I played the bishop move? Well, actually that would still be kind of okay. Just go back with the queen. Okay, so I saw ghosts here. Okay, so then play the bad move, h6, and here he decided also for something where Stockfish says nope, also a mistake. So it's bishop d3, but knight e5 would have been best. Okay, and here we have several variations. Let's see. First knight e5. Then here we have king d8. Yeah, thing is, what is he threatening now? If I leave the queen, the king on e8, then probably queen to g. Hold on. So queen to h5, giving check. How can I defend this? I could have gone to, yeah, run probably in a fork on g6 with the knight, and that would have looked really bad. So, yeah, happy that he didn't play it. Okay, let's see if I was correct. So, ne5, my move, if I wouldn't have played the king, what would have been best? Maybe the rook or the king. Yeah, okay. So both address the threat. Okay. So that is then. This had been played. Didn't see it with the rook and its possibilities. And then oh god, this was a full triple mistake passage in the game. So here I played bishop e7, giving him another real advantage, plus 1.7, 1.8 it says now. So knight c6 was best here. Knight c6 again. Okay, because we would have a double attack on the pawn, maybe. So let's see. Okay. So this is kind of okay for now. Why was this so bad? Let's see how it would have proceeded. Again, knight e5, king d8. Well, let's play it on the board. Here this, then that. Now he's able to castle, and I'm just in trouble. Forcing it away. but he says no. Why is he not putting the knight away? Let's go back one move. Okay. He played this. Now if I take, here it is. Okay. Then we have discovered attack on the king and I lose my queen. That's of course the reason. All right. So we have this, and knight c6 was best. If knight c6 would have been played, he still could have castled, and then it's my turn. e6, c3, bishop b7, knight d2, okay, knight g6, queen e2. Looking kind of okay, plus 0.7. Yeah, better move. Okay, so I played bishop e7 and he played the short castling, and inaccuracy still knight e5 was the best because still together with the queen on h5 that's just better. Okay, let's move on. And now instead of bringing the knight out first, I decided to go b6. Okay, and yeah, plus 2.0. Mistake still, knight c6 was best. And here he played bishop e4. I loved that he played it because it gave me the chance to bring out my pawn, but that leaves me with a very bad pawn on e6. And yeah, just not too good to have it here. And but for me it was kind of okay at the moment. Why? Because I was attacking the bishop, well, getting more control of the center, and yeah, that was basically what I wanted to play here because of that. So he brought it back. Then finally I played knight c6, and here we have a slight error by him on inaccuracy c3. And why was that an accuracy? Bishop b5 was best. What was bishop b5? Yeah, pinning the knight, but of course with the bishop on d7 that would have been okay for me, I think. Okay, after c3 I decided to go knight d8, and that was a blunder, it says. The idea here was to go knight d8 and then knight f7 to have more control over the e5 square, to start going with the pawn after I put my bishop on d6. Okay, so now let's find out why it was a blunder. Okay, I played knight d8, and now he would have gone again that an e5 move. Now my turn is knight f7 as I planned, and now knight g6. It's protected by the bishop. Now I have a rook attacked, and I have my bishop attacked. So the only move to save the rook would have been g8. And why is that such a bad move? Let's see. So I play knight g8, and then it tells me bishop f4, bishop d7, bishop g3, knight h8, knight takes, queen takes, and then I lose a pawn. Okay. Let's go back. What happens if I play the suggested bishop d6 here? Hold on. Knight c6. Then I played... he played c3. I played knight d8. And if he now played the e5, bishop, knight e5, I would have gone here and this, and now the suggested move. Okay, it's 3 plus 6 now. Let's see what he would have done. Rook e1, rook g8. Hold on, move back. Okay, here, do this. Okay, boom. If I don't do that, no, I want to play the move with the bishop. It's okay. And what happens now if he just takes? Take. The evaluation goes down, but not much. So I just retake. Plus, that's not such a big difference. So let's see again. Okay, jumps from plus 0.6 to a knight move here. Okay, so just getting the knight on e5 is such a big problem, not only for Stockfish but also for me. Okay, I get that. Then we continue, and yeah, he played now rook e1. That was an inaccuracy, and here I castled, and here finally after castling I thought, well, I'm kind of alright. Yeah, because now the queen on h5 is not such a problem anymore to me, but still lichess Stockfish here suggests the knight to e5. Okay, and why is e5 now such a problem? Yeah, I mean, of course, it has a lot of fields or squares to go to in my territory, which I don't like. But can I try to get rid of it? Yes, but it takes me one move, either with the bishop or 2 moves with the knight on... no, that's not correct. First I would need to get the bishop to b7 to protect c6, and then I could move the knight to c6 to attack the knight on e5, so that just takes too much time, I believe. Okay, so we had castling. I castled, and then he played queen c2. Okay, and that was such a mistake that he went from plus 2.3 to queen c2 to plus 0.9 plus 1 now. Okay, and what would have been best? Yeah, again 95. Okay, so this gives me probably from his side problems on the king side with bishop to h7, but again, I didn't see it as a problem, and Stockfish also didn't see that as a problem. So for me that was nice, and here I really felt like, okay, now I survived the opening, although my bishop and rook are still on the original positions, so I'm behind in development anyway, but I felt like I survived it and can now play on. Okay, so c5, yeah, I wanted to attack his center, and yeah, also just to weaken his e5 pawn, e5 knight, and yeah, really prayed that he take, and he actually did, and that was for me all right, because then I could take, and this looked really nice to me. Yeah, I mean, I have the 3 pawn islands, 1, 2, 3. He has 2 pawn islands, so his pawn structure is for sure way better than mine. I have the very weak bishop on e6, but still it looked kind of manageable to me. I had 3 pieces on the e6 pawn, queen. How can I do this? Yes, queen, then the knight, and the bishop. So, and if necessary, I could also take the rook to e8, also defending the pawn. So that all looked kind of very okay to me. Then we did several moves where Stockfish says, well, no mistakes, no inaccuracies. Let's play through them. Finally played e5, but that was too late for making it such a threat. Here I took, because I didn't like it. Again, there was too much space in my territory. Okay, here threatening the bishop, and here he went back all the way, and now, oh, now it says already that I can go up with a pawn. I do this, and then take, would have been my advantage, so I really could have done that, but didn't see it at the moment. What did I play? Played bishop d7. What was my idea behind it? Yeah, connecting the rooks and still protecting the pawn. Okay, this is something I didn't understand, and yeah, he just opened up his king side a little bit, so really don't know why, but it looked to me like he was weakening his king side a little. Okay, here I played the queen. Don't know really why. Yeah, probably to bring a rook behind the pawn here, so my queen wouldn't have to attack if I move it one step further, or one square further. Okay, here this could have been perpetual draw, I think, by always moving the same, but he didn't do that. Here he played the rook, probably getting ready to attack in case of me moving the pawn on e6, and this is queen e2, getting ready to attack my weak pawn. I played e4, and I didn't feel really well with it, but somehow I wanted to, well, give him some kind of a mini attack on the king side, although I didn't know really where that was leading to. Okay, now he played bishop e5, which was a blunder according to chess Stockfish, and let's see why it was so bad. So I should have taken, he would have taken, and then we would have one bishop each. I could have moved my the pawn, opening up his king defense way more. What did I do instead? I played after, hold on. Here we have the bishop move, which was a blunder, and I played queen h6. I think I took a long time to think if I should take the bishop, but I decided against it because I didn't want to trade queens, and yeah, I just think that he could have attacked my pawn by, hold on, what was he thought here? Bring this back. One more move back. Hold on, where are we here? Chuck, 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 chuck. Here we are. So if I would have taken, then I thought it would have gone like this. Take, take. I didn't want to exchange my queens at this moment. So what would I have done? Probably and now I see it was not bad at all. Interesting, because I could still have gone to yeah, here, 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 and all would have been good. Unless if I went to this, he could have gone here and there would have been no, well, then I would have been forced to exchange the queens unless I want to lose my pawn. Okay. Good. Then, yeah, we just move on. And yeah, here go to lichess again. And so we have the original position here, queen h6. And now he went queen e3. So what's the best next move? h3 was best. But after, hold on, queen e3, that was a mistake. He thought h3 was best, of course. So here I now think I should take, and when I played this, I thought, well, I could have taken the bishop first. Yeah, but I didn't do that. But I thought, well, that was a waste of time to play the queen to h6 before the exchange. Okay, he retakes, of course. And now I play knight e7. Okay, with knight e7, again, not taking. Yeah, I really don't know what was in my mind, because the bishop pair is usually better in the endgame. So I really should have taken it, but I didn't do it. Why? I have to admit, I don't know anymore. Okay, what could have been the reason? I for sure should have taken the bishop. Yeah, probably to go to... Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. I think the idea was to go to f5 with the knight, and that would have given me, if he exchanged, hold on, take. I could have taken with the rook. What would have happened? Let's see. So it's knight e7. What is his next best move? It should have been c4. Now, Stockfish thinking. Yeah, now knight f5 here, attacking the rook. This would have gone back. Now I could have protected this one. The bishop is moving to b3 now. Probably to make way for probably to make way for an attack on the e6 pawn, the final the big pawn, right from the start. So probably that's why. Okay, so let's go back to the position. Knight e7, and we have king f2. Starts to bring the king in, and then some moves where Stockfish says it's all right. Here the exchanges took place. Okay, and we have bishop d4 now. Again, putting an attack on the weak pawn, but it's not that much of an attack anymore because I have the bishop on d7. Interesting. So here I still choose to protect it, double attack on it. I didn't think it was much of an attack because again I had the bishop here. Now I want to push the pawns. Okay, here. I didn't see a big threat here. That was kind of all alright. Could take it. He takes. And considering time, he now exchanged everything more or less. And I was 10 minutes down, I think, only having like 9 minutes left. So whenever that happens, I usually don't trade. I try to make it as complicated as possible for my opponent to also put him down on time. Yeah, so okay, so now we have an endgame where I say usually I don't like them at all because there's so much to calculate, and well, usually this goes for the whole game, but one bad move here really decides the game, and yeah, that's why I don't like it too much, and I don't have experience in these kind of positions, and that's why I hoped for a draw, and I offered a draw also later on. He declined and said, yeah, please let's continue, and just for the experience. And I was first a little angry, but then he was just making the better decision by playing on, because it was really educational and instructional for me. Okay, here I played, or he played this, then I played this, that, here, okay. And here I think I offered the draw. Yeah, because I didn't see how that goes, or how the how one side could win, but I was always thinking like, Jan, you're going to do a mistake, and then you lost another an otherwise drawn endgame, and you will be angry by yourself. But yeah, again, he decided to play on, and that was good. Let's see how this game goes. All good. Yeah, of course, defending the pawn on g4. Here he played king e5, and I was wondering, like, how will I defend this here if he runs through with the king. So I played bishop c6, and it was a mistake because bishop f5 was best. So what's the difference between bishop c6 here and the bishop to f5? First I see what the engine says is here the best. Okay. Here I already don't know why he's not attacking the bishop right away and making his way to the queenside pawns. Let's see. Here that bishop f7, check. Now he goes e7, still not trying to go for the pawns, forcing that away, and now he starts going. Okay, here. And this usually is all over my head, and I don't know why this is happening. And just very difficult to me, especially when I'm tired. And this was at like close to 11 p.m. on a Friday night. So that was kind of really difficult, and I have to admit it's still also now. And why is it +3 here? I think I'm just losing this pawn. And he has the majority on this side here. So probably that's why. And he has the more active king. So yeah, probably I believe that's why. So I played bishop c6 because I wanted to defend here on this side. And he played king d6. I needed to retreat and was of course losing my pawn anyway. Okay, so but here I now saw it that I could just attack the king. He has to go out of the way and I get a pawn back. But still I thought he can now just eat all my pawns here and will easily win. But it was still, the engine says, a perfectly equal game. Okay, king f5 and now king takes. And still equal. And now I did a big blunder by moving the pawn forward. No, not the pawn forward, sorry, by the bishop b3. Now he could take the pawn and is up +5. Okay, and my question, or now even +6-3. So the question is, of course, why? This is bad. I played the bishop to b3 and then I'm down 2 pawns, and usually that should have given me the rest, as we say. Okay, I try to rush to the queen side with the king, king c5, king d3, bishop e3. Just see what would have happened if we all played the best. Okay, and now that pawn is running. It's a runner. Okay. Oh, quite interesting. Okay. Yeah, and now I could have just... Oh, this still... Oh, it's mate in 23. That's why. Okay. To me, this is kind of all very difficult to see, and... Let's go. Yeah, so somehow it's made later on. But for me, that's humanly not able to calculate. So I'd say for this here. Okay. So then we just continue and take a look why. The other move, instead of playing bishop b3, is better. So I go instead, b5 was best. I run away from the king. He plays b5, or I played b5, then comes king b6. Okay. He's trying to catch my pawn. Here I now defend the bishop. And next one would have been attacking the bishop. Now it says king to e4. And well, what's happening? If he takes the bishop, why didn't he take the bishop? I mean, it's not a runner, the pawn on b5 because the bishop still can defend. So I just take and we see how it changes. It's not my turn, is it? No, it's here. Queen e4. King e4. That's what happened. So it's white's turn now. And white should be able to take. White doesn't let me take here. I just play it like it was supposed to be. I go here. And now I go here. Chuck, 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 chuck. And if I would have taken here now. I'm so stupid. Of course I cannot take because it's still protected. Yes, of course. So, but this one, then it says, okay, take, going here. Yeah, and now it's just drop that draw because I have the white squared bishop and he has the dark squared bishop. So now I understand, okay, this would have been an easier draw than the other one. With perfect play, we saw it's a mate in 24 or something. Okay. Let's repeat this. So here it takes, I go here, he tries to catch it, I'm protecting it. He's going here, these are protected now. I bring in the king. Okay. And engine says now b3 is best. If he wouldn't have played it and we go with the king, I could just go for the pawn. He plays this, I go back. Yeah, just a draw. If no one blunders again. So that's why I hate these endgames so much, because usually there are rules, there are ways that I don't know of, have lots of time to think for that, and yeah, for me it's just a hassle, obviously, but it's part of the game and I'm happy to learn all that. Yeah, okay. So how did the game continue? We played this, here we go. I did the mistake was still carrying on. You see +4-6, +6, +5-8, so on. So basically I was lost. And then he did a mistake by putting the pawn on c5. Okay, so c5, and that was giving us an equal game again. c5, okay. What was the better move suggested? The better move was king c3, attacking the bishop. The bishop now needs to go away, bishop e4, and now I can start advancing with the pawns. That's why it is so much better. Okay, it was +34-5, so basically a really lost game then, because he was able to push. Okay, so I was really lucky in the end that he played this move. Alright, and so we played on for a little more. I didn't blunder, he didn't blunder, so it was all good, just moving pieces, and then we finally agreed on a draw on move 76. Okay, so yeah, that was the game replay or recap, and now I'd like to put my mistakes into Chessable for repetition. And yeah, we have to do this together. Hold on, I will just take a quick look at YouTube. Okay, this is quite alright. And we can now just start with the Chessable part of this session. So let me take a look again here. We first need to go to my Blunders. Or first I can show in Chessable how I do this. So I go to Chessable. I need to check if you can see it correctly. OBS, let's check. Yes, you're able to see it correctly. That's good. Okay, now what do I have here? I have my courses on the board, and I have a course. It is called My Own Mistakes. I need to find it, of course. Here, it's My Classical Game Puzzles. Okay, so if I click on it here, I can browse it. And I see that I have, Quadexi. I shared it with Quadexi. He's a friend of mine. He's also from the Chess Dojo. And he gave it a very little try to see what it is like. And what is it really like? I click on the review button. And you see I put in the blunders from my earlier classical games. And Chessable now gives me the basically puzzles, that's what they are to me, from my own games in a random order. But if I was correct the last time I reviewed it, it will take a little longer until it comes up again. It's called spaced repetition, and it's a wonderful feature by Chessable to learn what you need to learn and to skip what you already know. So that is a great learning practical feature, and it works well for me. So just to present this to you. Oh, time ran up while I was talking. Oh no. So I just let this run through, and here comes the solution. So it was black to move, and my move should have been queen f6, because queen f6 gives black active play with a mate threat on f2. Yeah, and what I played g5. That takes too long and loses tempo. White can now play d6, attacking the rook. A tough time to defend against the pawn promoting. Okay, so by reading this, I know why and what I should have done in that position, of course. So we go to the next review. Or first I have to repeat it, and so I knew what to do. So here it was really bad in the game. I played the pawn to g5 in hope to attack, and then either take, or if he takes, it's here a check. So the right move here is queen to f6. I get some bonus points, experience points for the gamification part, and so here we have that. Did it 3 times, and I hopefully learned what was the best move and why from reading my own comments here. So we go to the next variation and see what that was like. It was a game from I don't put the dates in, just the opponent's strength. It was Chandler Bing 77. Quiz, white to play, don't talk too much this time. Let's see if I can remember what was the best move here. I have to say it is over 3-4 months ago that I went through these. White to play, what is the best move for white? I think it was f4. So I get a more active bishop and weaken his coming attack with the bishop, with the pawn. So let's see. Yes, that was correct. So let's see it. f4 was being played, and your bishop on d2, that's my bishop, isn't contributing. So f4 both tries to break the black clamp at h6, plus g5, but also to revive that bishop. Okay. And something like f4, g4, h4 keeps it locked up, so your king is still pretty safe. And you can then aim to break e5, later to free your bishop on g2 as well. Okay. So, and until you break with e5, an activity you get for your d2 bishop just highlights how much worse the bishop on a7 would be in comparison. Okay, this makes all sense to me, and I didn't came up with that by myself, so that's a nice feature by the Chess Dojo. You can just, there's a section in the Discord where you ask dojo members, why is that the best move? Because it was given by lichess to me, by Stockfish, and I didn't really know why it is the best move here. And then I think knows all. He jumped in. That's a great member in the Chess Dojo, and he gave me all these explanations, and so I was able to understand why this move is the best. Okay, so I go for the next variation, then we stop and see how you can put your own moves into Chessable. Okay, so here we have again against Chandler Bing. It's again white to play. What is the best move here and why? Yeah, I remember. It's the c4 pawn takes d5, and it was because it makes way for on the c file, I think, and gives, of course, center control and space. So let's see if that was correct. Yes, that's correct. So why e takes d5 gives black the now open e file with 1 rook d e8. Let me check this again. So 1 c takes d5 is the correct move. 1 e takes d5 gives that's it. Yeah, gives an open e file for black by rook d to e8. Yeah, that was correct. Okay, and c takes d5 keeps the e file closed, and of course here a possible attack line if I can attack that somehow. But the main reason was don't open up the e file for black. Okay. Good. So while we have that, we again go to lichess. Chuck. Let's check if you can see lichess well in the stream. Yes, that looks all right. So what are we going to do? We're going to take a look at the blunders. Here we have this one, and it is this position, and we need the move right before that. So I can ask what is the best move for black here. Oh, and this is going to be difficult to give the explanations because from the lichess line I don't really understand why, but I will put it in anyway, and if it's just for instruction for Chessable. So hold on, what do I need to do? First I need to go to Chessable. I need to go to the course page where I can put in the moves. I go to exit here, And here I have the edit variations. Or was it add variations? Was there an add? Yeah, add variations. Here it is. Add variations. Okay. So add variations. And here I need to put in the position. So this would be difficult to give all the moves. So I do another way in Chessable, and that was tools and set up a position. Yes, and here I can put in the fan, and I get the fan for this. Can you still see everything? Yes, you can. So I just do it by clicking on that one here. Then I need to go on the board. It's the board editor. And here I can copy the fan. Got it? Marked it. Right click and copy. Then I go to Chessable again and put in the fan from the position. Einfügen. Enter. Was it enter or just this one here? Yes, you just click away. Then you get the position here. You put in whose turn is it to play. It is black to play. I want to turn the board so I see it from my side. How was that done? I think add variation and then turn the board. I now add the variation. It's here, and is that the one? Hold on, click. Yes, that's the button. And now I have the position from my point of view, and then I need to add it to my course. Add to my course. And now I ask the question. The comments before is, what is black's best move? So, but first I have to move the best move, and that was the bishop to d6. And now I can write in here. Okay, so I start writing. I put the microphone a little bit away. What is black's best move? Question mark. And now I need to put in the best move. Here I did all the work I needed. I go back to the page, and it says bishop d6 was best. Bishop d6 was best. Going back to Chessable and comments. One bishop d6 was best. So now I need to find out why the other one was bad. I played one tuck 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 knight. Was it e8? I think it was e8. d8, sorry. d8. So I played one knight d8, and that was bad because... So, sorry if you heard me a little lower in the volume, but okay. Knight d8. If I go knight d8, then I would give him the... that's why. I give him the possibility to go knight e5 and giving me all the troubles that we talked about earlier on. Okay, then I will just write that, because it allows... Okay, back to this. I played knight d8, which allowed 2-point knight e5. Okay, so bishop d6, 1 point, bishop d6 prevents 2-point ne5. And does it have another effect? Bishop d6. So that prevented the, gives a double, yeah, basically it prepares the pawn going to e5, I think. What else? So, yeah, that's at least a threat. Well, not a threat, but positionally better, and gets rid of my weak pawn here. I think that's it. And usually if I would have somebody with me, I can see in the chat, is there somebody with me who is better in chess than I am and has an idea? So please write into the chat why, what I should write down, and just to remember it way better. I wait a little, see nobody is writing, so I just continue here. Hold on. Ah, Timpe. Oh, Timpe, you're in. Lovely, great, thank you. Timpe, the question is, I'm here, hold on. Why exactly, I mean, we can first take a look at Chessable. So the question is, what is black's best move? Yeah, from the position here with wait, hold on, from this position. So I played the knight to d8, and Stockfish says the bishop is way better on d6 than the knight on d8. And one reason is that it prevents the white knight to go to e5. Yeah, because I can just take it with my knight. And here, why actually is it so much better to play the bishop to d6? That's the reason, that's the question here. So bishop d6 being played, and I think it is because I now have 1, 2, 3 pieces defending the pawn going to e5, which would have been my plan. So can you confirm this, or do you have another idea? I believe it's pretty difficult. So this is from Twitch, and if somebody in the YouTube chat has an idea, please also write it into the... someone is coming. It's CXKE. Hi. Hello, hi, nice meeting you. Okay, here, Timpe says in Twitch, at some point you want to push your e-pawn to activate bishop c8. So therefore you need a lot of pieces attacking e5. So I was correct with my assumption here. Okay, good. Because that is always the question that I have. It is lichess gives me a line, but it doesn't really explain why. So we just go back to C. And thank you, of course, Timpe, for the explanation. Here, yeah, makes perfectly sense. We have a very weak pawn. It needs to be pushed, and here we have 3 defenders for the e5 space. So I go back to Chessable and write it down here. 1 bishop d6 prevents 2 and e5, and it gives me a 3rd defender for the pawn to e5. All right. So that should be enough for me to, like in 2-3 months, to remember why without having to think all that or analyzing all that again. Okay, here. But of course, you also need to prevent white pieces jumping in on e5. That's true. Then you can push e5 also. Yeah, that's double reason, of course. And I should write that down too, and I will. So let's go. Gives me a defender for the pawn to e5, comma, also to prevent white from taking what's it in English? From place, just for me. So for placing something on e5, so that I can't push my pawn forward. Okay. So that looks good now, and then we see how it looks like in the course that I created. So this is good. Now explanation is all set up. Here we have the best move. Then we need to go here at notation to know nothing. Then we need a variation name. The variation name is always from the game, and it is called lichess. Can I copy that from here? I always wonder. Yes, I can copy some parts. Steuerung C. Go here. The variation name is going to be lichess versus 12. That was my earlier name on lichess, of course, and I had 1500 because I changed my name, so it's Chess Under Fire now. So my fault. Sorry, guys. Chess Under Fire Jan, and I was 1500 question mark provisionally by I earlier on had with my earlier account Quellbrunn. I had 750, I believe. So, and which number is it? It is number 1 because we had 2 blunders here. So it's number 1. I select the course. It's my classical game puzzles, and in which chapter should it be? I only have 1. So it is my classical game puzzles, and I can write variation to book. Yes, edit. It's done. Yes, see it. And now we can check if this was all okay, of course. And now we'd like to check it, and I go to, can I check it from here? Yes, see in chapter. That, what is it? Okay, I see it in chapter. I have it here, and I click on learn. So now I'm presented by the position that I gave in. I see where it came from, and the question is, what is black's best move? So if I do a wrong move, but on purpose here, next, sorry for learning it. Learning is not moving it yourself. Learning is always reading. So we have here what we just wrote. Your move is 1 bishop d6. 1 bishop d6 was best. I played 1 knight to d8, which allowed 2 knight e5, correct. Here the explanation why bishop d6 was best. Bishop d6 prevents knight to e5 and gives me a third defender for the pawn to e5. Also to prevent white from placing something on e5 so that can't push my pawn forward. I understood this, okay. I click on next, and now I have to play it. And if I go correct, then it will have me to Chessable has yeah, 3 times the same question, so it's learning by repetition. So just for the fun of it, I will do a wrong move here and see what happens. It says incorrect and gives the answer right away. You'll click on next again, and then you are in the need of repeating the right question, the right answer, sorry. And so I play this. It says yes, it's correct. It gives me points. Yes, it's correct. Gives me points. And yes, it is correct. Gives me points. So congratulations, hard work pays off. You finished learning the whole course because I learned all the positions, although I still have in review, but that doesn't mean I didn't learn it. It just means that I have questions in review. So I click on continue. I'm back in the course and we have to set up the second blunder. And for setting up the second blunder, I again go to the tools. I go to set up position. I need to get the position and I get it from my second blunder. And the second blunder was this one. Okay, first I take a quick look into the chat. That's all correct and good. Thank you. And here we go. So we put in the second blunder. And for that I need the position before. It was this one. And I go here and board editor. I click on the fan, mark everything, copy, going to Chessable, putting in the fan, paste, clicking somewhere here, it's in. Now it's black's turn to play and I add the variation. I want to see it from my position. I turn it here and we are good to go. So now I need to add it to my course. And same thing, I have to do the correct move. And the correct move was going 1 square with the pawn running away from the king. Okay, now these fields are active and I write down again what is the best move for black. Okay, and comments after b5 is the best move for black is one, what was it? b5. Okay, so the wrong move as I played, one bishop b3. Was bad because, and now I again have to find out why bishop b3 was bad. So let's go back to lichess. Let's go back to the analysis for that. So yeah, it allows the pawn to be taken, of course, and basically that gives white the advantage of having 2 pawns on the queen side, and yeah, at least one can run through to the finish line, 8th rank, and promote to a queen. I'd say that's the reason why. So let's again play what happened. So if I do the bad move here, yeah, immediately the evaluation goes way into the direction of white. Then he takes. We have this one here, k5, king f5, c4, king e4. Okay, needs to go away. King c3, f3, bishop e5, defending that pawn. King f2, bishop f4, king f3. And now it's just mate in 48, and I'm sooner or later able to push through with the pawns. Yes, here they start and they're just unstoppable. So basically that was the correct reason. I take a look into the chat to see if maybe Tempe, who might be still in the call, agrees. So yeah, I'm start writing it in, and if someone has yeah, an idea why that was the best move, please let me know, of course. So I'm going to go back to Chessable and write down why that really was such a blunder. Let's go back to the bad move here. That was our position, and the best move was to run up with the pawn, because the bishop move is just giving white a winning advantage. Okay, so I write it into our Chessable move. b3 was bad because it allowed white to take the pawn. White was now winning, having 2 extra pawns. That should be enough, basically, I think. Yeah, with that, we can finalize this variation in Chessable. So that's fine. Add an annotation, no. We need a variation name again. I didn't copy it from before, so I need to put it again. So it was Lamach Chess. Copy. The variation name becomes Einfügen Lamach Chess versus Lamach Chess versus Chess Under Fire Jan, and I was 1500 question mark when I played the game, and it was blunder number 2. Okay, so I select the course again, my classical game puzzles. It is 1 chapter in there, so I add the variation to the book. Yes, add it. Yes, see it, and see in chapter. And now we are going to learn that one. Click on learn, and here it is in Chessable. So can you still see that correctly? Yes, I think you can. So we have the following here. Chessable asked me what is the best move for black. By now we know that it is the pawn move, but for learning you don't have to give a move, you just have to click on next, and it gives you your explanation you put in. Your move is 1 b5. The best move for black is 1 b5. 1 bishop b3 was bad because it allowed white to take the pawn, and white was now winning, having 2 extra pawns. Okay, now you're forced to do your own idea what is the best move. And here I go with the correct one. It tells me quiz 2 out of 3. Yes, it gives me extra points. Here below I do it again, and I do it again. And so initially now Chessable knows that I studied it, I knew it, and it will give me this one and the one we did before as a question for review. Okay, and I just see that I made a mistake because I put the numbers of the blunders behind, but I see I have it in front. It always starts with the 0 number and then number 1, 2. So this should be 0 and this should be 1. I'm going to correct this. And how do I do this? I think I need to scroll up all the way. And I need to go to Edit Variations. Yes. And here I easily can do this. So this needs to be deleted. Then I go here, and here I have to put it as number 1. Okay. And with that, I think we should be good. We can see if that worked or if I really needed to click on edit by going to our course. How can I go to the course where I see it? I think I just go to, well, the courses, my courses. Here I have it, 2 classical game variations. There are 2 new variations in now. I could click on review, but I don't want to see it. I go to browse. And here I can go to edit variations and see if it took my changes all the way down to the latest ones. And yes, it took the variations. So that's good. Okay, so yeah, with that, we are good. Chessable is done, and now we're going to the suggested puzzles. Okay, so before we go to the suggested puzzles, I just want to show that in Chessable, yeah, now if I click on it, I see I have review of my classical games puzzles. And before we added those 2 variations, we had 14 to review. Now we have 16 to review. And whenever I have the time and like to work on my chess, I can click on, well, Chessable, of course, then review, and then I will be given those 16 review questions from my classical games. Yeah. There's also a way to automatically connect either lichess or chess.com to Chessable, and whenever you play and blunder, it will do all this automatically. But for now, I chose to only do my classical games, and that is not being done automatically in Chessable, so I do it manually. Yeah, because if I play 2 hours Blitz or Bullet, I don't like to have all my blunders from those games in a course for myself from all my games. Okay, with this being explained, I go here, and lichess tells me recommended puzzle training is Dutch defense, the Raphael Variation. I didn't even know that we played the Raphael Variation because I don't know it. So again, here first, this was played d4. Standard Dutch is f5. He plays the knight, and I already did a mistake in the second move, putting me into trouble. And I know for next time I need to fight for e4, and that is best done by putting the knight to f6. Okay, so now I'm of course very curious what lichess will give me here. And let's see, I click on it, and then we do some like half an hour or so, and then the goal for today is reached. It was doing the game recap, then how to put your blunders into a Chessable course, and then the puzzle training. So let's see, I click on it. Okay, and yeah, this looks like it came from, let me take a look, can I scroll up here? Yes, d4, f5, knight c3, c6. This came from, I already forgot, it's a Raphael variation. Okay, and now I'm as black need to find the best move. This usually takes some time, but you can of course try it with me. If you see something, please write it into the chat. I won't take a look at the chat before I have my solution, but then we can compare, of course. Okay. First, I do a short evaluation. We have 2 kings, that is always nice. We have 2 queens on the board. We have 2 rooks. We have 2 bishops, and we have a knight. We have 2 for 6 pawns, 2 for 6 pawns each, so material is equal. And king safety, I'd say his king looks not way safer, but at least safer than mine. So let's see, what is attacked here? Attacked is, first checks. Checks takes threats. Okay. So can he put me into check? Yes, he can, but I take his queen on h5. I take his queen on g6. So that's the only checks that he has. Okay, so this wouldn't make sense. What is the next threat he can give me? He can take my bishop on d6, but it's defended by the queen. Any other threats here? No. Okay, what happens if he plays queen to g7? He attacks my rook, who is undefended. And can he go away with the rook? Yes, he can. Simply h7, so that attacks my queen. And he needs to go away with the queen. Cannot take on f6. That doesn't make sense. Okay, I don't see that. So does he have other takes or threats? I don't see any. And if I don't see any, I can take a look at my own moves. And the first thing is I cannot put him into check, but I can attack his queen by moving up the pawn to e5. And now we need to see if he has squares for the queen to move to. So if he goes, we start with h3, h4, h5. I take by the rook. With the rook. If he goes to g5, take with the pawn. g6, I take with the knight. And again we have the queen to g7, sorry. Okay, and then I bring up the rook to h7. And then he has only one square to go to, and that is g8. If he goes to g8, what can I do? On g8 I bring my bishop to e6, attacking the queen again. And where can he go now? The queen is on g8. He cannot take my knight. He cannot go to h8. He cannot take my rook. He cannot go to h6. He cannot go to g6, g5, g4, f6, f7, f8, d7, sorry, f7, e7, d7, c7. So those are all taken. And that's why I decide to play e5. I think e5 is the best move because I'm able to get his queen. I hope that was all correct. I take a look in the chat if someone wrote something. And Timper says, you've got it. That's the end of the variation. e5, queen g7, rook h7, queen g8, bishop e6. Yes, wonderful. Love it. Alrighty, so let's play it and see if that's correct. So, yep, correct. And now it is the rook move. Yep, take and take. Success. Love it. Plus 98 points. And I believe that's why I have a brand new account. I didn't do any puzzles with it. And so I liked the puzzle. It was nice. So, yes. And here we come up with the next one. And Timper, by the way, thank you so much for being here with me. It's great that you are doing this with me. Just way more fun to know that someone is with me here instead of doing this all alone. Of course, I would do it alone because I'm learning. This is my chess training for today, and but together it's always more fun. Okay, so let's see for this puzzle here. Again, I do my evaluation. 2 kings. That is always a joke to me because otherwise the game is over. So we have 2 kings, then 2 queens. That's nice. 2 rooks, 2 bishops, 1 bishop. I only have 1 bishop. White has 2 bishops. I have 2 knights. He has only 1, so it's kind of equal. Now the pawns 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so a material advantage for white. Then king safety. Can he put me into check right away? No, cannot see it. Can I put his king into check? No. I castled. He didn't so far. So I'd say king safety is a little better from my side. And yeah, of course he has the space advantage, I'd say, because of his bishop here. But he also has the knight not developed. Again, the bishop is not developed on f1. So center control, I'd say probably black is a little better here because of the pawns out. And yeah, okay, again, let's take a look for the checks, takes, threats. So can he put me into check? No, he cannot. What are the threats? The takes, sorry. He can take my knight. I take with a rook, so that is not a thing. Other takes I don't see. So that's it. And do we have threats from him? I don't see any threats. There are no pins, no skewers, no nothing. Do I overlook something? Bishop to d6 attacks my rook. I need to go the rook to f7. What can he play then? Nothing. So that's not a real threat. And that's all I saw. So I'm free to take or to think of myself. I cannot put him into check. And can I take something? No, I cannot. And now can I give him threats? One move would be knight a6, attacking his pawn, his bishop, sorry, on c7. Okay, but something way better, of course, is a fork by the knight on f6. So I attack the queen and the bishop simultaneously by putting the knight on d5. He needs to put his queen away unless he wants to lose it. But then his bishop is attacked, so he needs to find a move where he saves the queen and protects the bishop. So the first move that comes to mind is queen to c4. Is that anything? Can I further attack the queen or block? Okay, so if he plays that, I could block the protection by going knight c3. I mean the b8 pawn to c3 to c6. But then he could play the bishop out of the way. That would be one. Or he could play queen a5. But then I could play pawn to b6, attacking the queen again. And then he would not have a move to protect the bishop, so that would be not good, so he probably moves the bishop away. Again, from the start, I would go knight d5, the fork on the queen and the bishop. Then he could go queen c4, and I would block the protection by the queen with my knight. It would be b8, knight b8 to c6. And then he could go bishop a5. I take, he takes with the queen, and we had an exchange, but I would have gotten a bishop for a knight, breaking his bishop pair. So that would be something good, but I believe in this puzzle there's always some other goal. Okay, I don't think that this was it. So can I attack in another way? Okay, so what happens if I have another threat? The next threat would be knight to e4, also attacking the queen. So this time it is not a fork, it's just a threat here, and we could just move it to another place. And that would be... here we go. So I attack his queen with the knight on e4. He's... well, the bishop this time is not attacked. I don't see it. Anything else? My queen is not in play. The rook on f8 is nothing. I don't have anything with the knight on b8. I think it is somehow the knight fork, but I don't know how to make it work. So this would be a guess move here. I don't know how long I thought, but usually I give myself 10 minutes before I stop thinking and forcing myself to make a move. I don't know if it was 10 minutes, but my move for now would be the knight fork. And I see it. A quick look into the chat and see if somebody wrote something. Knight d5 is the correct first move. Keep searching there. Knight d5. Okay. Thank you, Timper. Let's see. So, knight d5 again. So, knight d5 is a fork. And now where does the queen go to? Okay, again, I cannot go to... the queen cannot go to c6. The queen could go to... oh, hold on. No. So my first idea was if I go to knight d5, the queen goes to, well, let's say c4. I could put my knight on a6 and we would have a double attack on the bishop. But the problem is that the queen is not attacked here and he could just move his bishop away. So what do I do if he plays queen c4? c4. What happens if I just take the bishop? I take it. He needs to retake with the queen. And then I have nothing to attack and it could just go anywhere he wants to. So, again, if queen goes to c4, what do I do? d5, c4. Nope, nope, nope. I could attack his... Now let's see. So if I put it here, the knight to d5, queen goes c4. The only attack I have on the queen on c4 would be knight to e3 would be taken. That's not the right move. The next attack on the queen would be my knight from d5 to b6, again attacking the queen. So he probably just takes with the bishop, doing an exchange, and I have 2 pawns on the b file, so I don't like that too much. So again, place it there. No, no, no. I think I'm stuck. Let's take a look at the chat. Okay, you can attack the queen again. Use all of your pieces, not only the knights. Okay. I thought of the pawn, but I thought it can just take with the queen. So I attack. The fork is done. The queen moves to c4. I attack again with the pawn. It is unprotected. The queen takes the pawn. And if it takes the pawn, what is my next best move? Here. Is there anything else? No, that's the only thing where I can attack the queen again. And it takes this, and then I can only attack it differently than with the pawn to b5 by pushing the pawn on the d file, making space for my queen, but that would lead to an exchange of queens, I guess, and I would be down a pawn. So is there something? What is it? Knight, fork, queen to c5. The only thing I can now attack it without a knight is the pawn on b4, unprotected, taken by the queen. Is there something else that I oversee? I don't think so. Okay. Your first move was a fork. Yes. Attacking two pieces. It moves. I take, he takes. And can I then attack something here? I don't get it. Until it's only for taking the bishop to break his double bishop situation. I only have one. But I don't see how I can gain material here. And this is the fun about chess. Actually, I'm really struggling, but I still like it. And after 10 minutes, usually if I don't see it, then I don't see it. And then I'm also okay if I didn't see it. So, but I will do the first move. Something it changes if I see it on the board. I mean, I try to see it in my head, of course. But okay, that was the first move. And now... No. Okay, let's see what happens now. I put the knight to b6. Oh, I'm so stupid. If I attack the queen and he takes, the bishop is free to take. So he cannot take and he needs to go away. And he cannot go to... Oh, interesting. So we now have the following situation. So I attacked on b4. If he takes, I take the bishop and I'm good. So he needs to go to a place where he can still defend the ho, it's not c6. It is not c3. And that's the only two that are open. Can he go somewhere else? Yes, he can. So the only one would be queen c5. And if he puts his queen to c5, I can now bring up the knight to a6 and have a nice double attack on the queen and the bishop. And so I for sure win the bishop. So that would be my solution. Yes, that would be my solution. That is great. So it's so funny how deeply desperate you can be in chess, and then with just one move, you are kind of happy again. So I hope it was correct. Let's see the chat. There's a fork attacking two pieces. If queen takes the b5 pawn, the other white pieces is undefended. Yes, that's it. All right, that looks really, really nice. So, love it. Great. So, let's check. And here we go. Yes, correct. And now I can just take. And it's great. So, it's a lovely puzzle. And I don't know how I missed to see it. Yeah. And yeah, now you know it. It's so easy, but it was just overlooked. And I guess that has something to do with visualization, because I didn't see that it was unprotected. Okay, love it. Really, really good. So that was a success, and I liked it, and I give it a plus. So I won't start the next one because it's already 11 p.m. here. And yeah. Thank you, Timpe. Same here. I also go to sleep. It was really lovely that you took the time with me. Really appreciate it. Of course, looking forward to the next Liga. And what I wanted to say is that the way I did my analysis for the classical game is against all dojo rules, I believe. So the dojo usually says that you are having to do the analysis by yourself. Yeah, and here I cheated somewhat by going through Yuritsa's commentation of the live game and taking a look at the analysis. But to me, it's just, if I analyze, it takes me 3, 5, 6 hours to write everything down and to look through everything, to find the stuff. And somehow that seems to me like it's just too long. And I have a slight hope that the learning effects are still the same if I do it like I do it this way. I will try to do this for like 2, 3, 4 months and then see if I really learn something. But the other training method, by going through the games by yourself, it's probably review. That's called a review with a plus. That also counts. Yes. All right. So that's nice because it saves so much time. I have to say I enjoy it doing the analysis by myself, but yeah, it's just a matter of time. It just takes so long. And yeah, with Timpe's confirmation that counts, I have a better feeling for going to bed too. Thank you everyone for joining this stream. It was an experiment for me. It was the very first time that I did a game recap, first time that I showed how I work in Chessable for my own stuff instead of having courses by someone else. And it was also my first time that I did puzzles, so I was afraid that I was just way too stupid. But it's never stupidity. I call it unexperience or inexperience. Yeah, to find that out. I hope my method, how I approach those puzzles, were kind of okay. With Timpe's help, I was able to make it. So thanks again, Timpe. Really love it, and I have a really good feeling. Then wish me good luck, because in the morning at 5 a.m. I have my first podcast recording. So the adult podcast journey, an adult journey. I take a look what it's called really. I approached them. There's an online form to fill out if you'd like to appear on the podcast, and they said yes. So he's on Pacific time. I'm in German time, so it's a really big time difference. And so we do it at 5 a.m. in the morning. And I'm so curious as to if this will be successful. Of course, my English, do I have interesting things to tell, and so on and so on. So this is going to be quite an experience. Wish me luck that we will have a nice podcast recording and that it will come up on the show. And with this, I need to get some sleep. Wishing you all a very good night. I liked it, and will probably do it again when I did another classical game. And maybe I will throw in some of these puzzles too, so that I'm prepared for this special way of the Dutch opening. Alrighty, with this, I'm going to wish everyone a very good night. Enjoy, sleep well, and see you hopefully later. Bye bye.